da jeg startede.
Why all the worry? Why all the pain? Why all the dying for the sake of our name? Why should our children carry our pain? I asked for a reason, then I heard you say, freedom, freedom.
Right, panning on TV now.
I'm Shanti. Welcome. Well, as you see, there are lots of different things that have taken place. Mainly the shop, ye old witchy shoppy. Now this is an idea that myself and Dark Raven One had at the same time. The idea is those who make stuff for pagans are now have a shop where they can sell it to people on the group that are interested. I'd like to compliment Shadow Dancer, of course, and Christine Moonstar. You both done wonderful. I'm sorry about the other picture, Christine. I've now put it on for you. Stupidity on my part. You see, I was just testing it out. I didn't know whether I was doing the right thing or not, jumping the gun, but I thought this would be ideal for you. Now, Shadow Dancer, I have several designs which I can give you on the actual pentagram. That isn't the only design. There are many different designs. Now those of you who wish to buy a spirit board or pentagram or mala beads, wands, whatever, this is the place where you can get them. Now, I want some of you to start stocking it up a bit. I mean, we've only got 2 people at the moment that are actually selling stuff on site. So, hey, Crystal, I know you and Earthwalker have articles which you can sell on site. So put it on the shop. Let's see some of this. Especially your book. Very important. Right. What are we going to talk about, I wonder? Well, I'd like to just mention a thing about the spirit world, Imani. Each planet has a set of 9 realms. So I believe. But I don't know. It's an area which I'm familiar with. I am familiar with the 9 realms. I am familiar with Imani, since I travel there quite a bit. And so are a couple of others of you that are. Now, what you tell or inform on one spirit, whether it's your guide or whether it's one of the masters, automatically is known by all the others. You'll meet people that you haven't met on this realm, on the earth realm. you'll meet people that you've never met. That's great. But the knowledge that is given to one is known by all. I like to stress that first. Excuse me. Now, there's a thing about animals. Are there animals that we have here on the spirit realm? Yes, to be sure there is. And some of them that have crossed over to Imani, that haven't been reborn on this earth, will still be bonded to their masters, or to, I hate the word master, to the person who is taking care of it. That an emotional bond is between the two. That it's not separated just because they've gone to Imani. It applies to people, it also applies to creatures. There are spirit animals on Imani, obviously. So, it is a different aspect. Now, I noticed that in Japan, I think it was it Japan or China? It was China or Japan though? Where they got a vision of Imani. It's in Japan. They looked out over the water and there was another country, another place in front of them through the mist. It wasn't geographically placed. In other words, it wasn't of this realm. It was of Imani. So do we have garbage on Imani? Yeah, we do. All the rubbish that people think of and do, we have on Imani, which is disposed of. Because it can spiritually pollute. There are things like this that we don't take into consideration. It is a complete peaceful world. Though I say peaceful, it can have its ups and downs. So let us get back to basics on all things. We're relying on this world, which is so imperfect and so polluted. Sound pollution, lots of different pollutions. The negative aspect that is produced is also a form of pollution. So we have this to deal with. As I once said, if anything breaks your harmony, then for God's sake, move yourself from it. You don't need it. Trust me. Whether it's mechanical. I used to know a friend of mine, he's a very close friend. He's a car mechanic. And when he was working, if anyone disturbed him, he'd get a piece of the car and he'd throw it down the garden in temper. If the phone rings, he rips the phone off, the outside phone off, and throws that down the garden. It was breaking his harmony. He gave up repairing cars and he went into something else, and he's been doing it very successfully now. So, I mean, breaking your harmony is throwing you out of sync with anything spiritual. Also, Little Buffalo put an article on about the Catholic Church and their abuse, one of their abuses that they have done. And incidentally, this isn't distant, it's still being done. They are one of the biggest hypocritical faiths that I've ever come across in my life, where children are sexually abused, pregnant unmarried mothers are abused and treated like slaves in the convents where they go to have their children. Then the children mysteriously die and they're seated with other parents. This is going on all the time. In actual fact, Dark Raven one has come across this before. They wanted to make her get Adrian adopted, and she told them where to go in no certain terms, which is quite right too. This barbaricness. So the Christian faith as it is a way of keeping you in order, that you'll be slaves to it. You're not free. I once said the only free people that are in this country are what we call the travellers. They don't have banks. They rely on their own resources completely.
I won't say that's true anymore, though.
Yes, it is true. I mean the true travellers. But man is still trying to integrate them into their society. A lot of them, when Adrian said it's not true, some of that's not true now. Well, yeah, he's right in one respect.
There's not a lot of them left now.
Oh, there's quite a lot. But they're still trying to integrate them and make them live in houses and make them comply to the laws. Even Adrian has been subjected to this, and he's learning computer technology. Oh, you have to go to college. You have to do work experience, otherwise you get kicked out, to make you conform. You don't have to.
Work experience is nothing but free slave labour.
Of course it's free slave labour. Of course it is. They don't pay you. And the place where he went shocked me. They're full of foreigners.
Yeah, all Polish and Indians.
Yeah, they can hardly speak any bloody English. Joan came across the same thing. She wanted to get a SIM card for her Galaxy. And said, oh, some foreigners say, oh, if you didn't buy it here, we can't give you a SIM card. Which was a load of rubbish. So she went back and she saw someone in charge, and they were the most helpful you could imagine. Ireland did the same mistake that England did.
Joining the European Union.
Yeah. Biggest mistake. So you find that they will employ foreigners more readily, or foreigners to this country, more readily. Why?
Yeah.
Because they go lower than minimum wage. They get them for cheap. Tesco's has already been pulled for this. But there are a few other companies out there that are also guilty of this. This is what happened in England, and it's what's happening here. If I had my way, and I had the ability and power to do this, I'd say to the masses, when it comes to voting for a new...
I'm dead, 14 minutes have passed.
A new president, okay, or a new government, don't. Boycott it. And if every person in the country boycotted it, they say, hey, what's happening here? No one's supporting this government.
It's gone past 15 minutes now, dear.
Okay, Naged is at me, saying it's gone past 15 minutes, so I've got to go. Thank you again for listening. Namaste. I'm Shanti.